You ever listen to a song and it takes you straight to a movie scene? Yeah, you know the one. Sure, that happens all the time. Today I'm going to present Michael with a great song from one of our favorite movies. Sit back and enjoy episode 9. Come on. This is your affable host, Clay, and along with me, as always, my partner in crime, Michael Damlong. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. How you doing? I said
Top
man
of
a
the
lot.
world. What?
Baller, boss, G. How you doing, playa?
I will accept any of those as compliments. Thank you very much.
I quit.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is our show. We'll try again next week. No.
It's been great. See ya.
What have you been doing today, man?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Taking care of some things. It's been a good morning.
Okay.
It's been a good morning.
So if you could be more vague, I'd greatly appreciate.
I don't think the fair people listening would really care about my laundry or cleaning up around the house. So
okay. All right. I went to the dentist.
Is your dentist name Crentist?
No, don't. Oh, no. It is not. It is not, sir.
I like how you try to cut me off right before I drop the line there. No.
For your own good. It's fine.
We were off the rails this morning. Okay, man, let's get back on the track here. You have a question for me. Let's hear it.
Have you ever listened to a song and it takes you straight to a movie scene or a movie? And
of course, yeah.
It is forever inseparable now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, can you think of an example where you heard a song in a movie and you're like, I've heard that song before, but in this context, for some reason, it is extra. It's like changed. Like how I
almost like the movie like elevates it, or or the song elevates the movie,
or vice versa.
Yeah. I was going to say maybe Miserlou from Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Just, like the iconic. I mean, all it is the opening credits, but it's this opening to one of the finest films in the last 30 years.
That's a perfect example because I don't think. I don't know. I'm certain I'd never heard that song prior to that. I mean,
I had heard it very sparingly.
When did that movie come out? 94, something like that.
Somewhere
probably?
Around there, yeah. We're almost up to 30 years since that movie came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Most of us probably hadn't heard that song at 14. Until
perhaps not.
Yeah, until we saw that movie.
But that's one. Let me think. I mean, I'm a movie, I'm not necessarily a movie buff, but I do enjoy movies and have a decent collection of Blu-rays and digital movies and things like that. And man, I got to think.
What about something
okay, all right. Check this out. So you and I are both big fans of The Big Lebowski, and
there you go.
There are songs on there that are just, they're old songs that are classic songs in their own right, but used in a movie like The Big Lebowski, they just they're so perfect.
Yeah. So the song "The Man in Me."
The Man in Me, opening, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if that song was ever a hit, but I'm forever associating that song with that movie and the opening credits.
Correct. In
the bowling alley and the guys bowling in slow motion. It's just magical.
I can't dissociate it anymore. It's if I hear that song, my mind is taken straight to those scenes in the movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm about to send you the song that I'm presenting to you today, and then we're going to jump into the song. But when I send it to you, tell me the movie.
Oh
that
goodness.
you
Okay.
if you catch this one. I know
Okay.
you
All right.
will. I know you will. Here it
Okay.
comes.
Well, we'll see.
So Michael has no idea what this song is. Obviously, it's a surprise. He's about to open his text and find out what it
Yes.
is. And what do we got?
We have Jim Croce. I got a name, and I know exactly where this comes from. So I'm gonna throw down here that you're picking this. You're pulling it from another Tarantino movie called Django Unchained, which you know is probably
It's
my favorite
yep.
Tarantino movie.
Yeah. I go back and
Ah.
forth. I know we have this conversation a lot about our favorite Tarantino joint is.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's Inglourious Bastards, and sometimes it's Kill Bill 2, and sometimes it's Django, but a lot of times it's Django, but sometimes it's Pulp Fiction. And I was really happy that you said Pulp Fiction, and I was like, boom, okay, this is going to tie right in.
Nice.
All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play Jim Croce's I Got a Name from 1973.
Let's hear it.
At this time, for maximum effect, we recommend you go listen to the song in question before continuing with the episode.
All right. So from 1973, Jim Croce, I Got a Name. Michael, what do you visualize when you listen to that song?
Visualize Django Unchained, man. It takes me right to that.
Yes.
We're riding the horse and all that, dude. Yeah.
There's the
God, what a
freaking
great song.
mountains and the snow and
Yes.
the
Yes.
horses and the freaking saddling the thing and riding through the mud in the streets.
Oh man, yeah.
And uh, man,
It's such a perfect song for the scene. And I mean,
have you ever heard that song before you saw that movie?
if I had, it didn't it didn't really register with me. I mean, I want to say that I
Same,
had heard it
same.
maybe on like either like a classic rock station or like one of those old like album oriented
Some
radio
AM,
stations.
yeah, some
Yeah,
AM
something
gold.
something to that fact.
It's really like, I mean, it's really like, I mean, it's really like sugary and sunshiny, like
Yeah, and
kind of sappy, but
it wouldn't have been a song that I go to not having
but
seen the
for,
movie. I don't think. I
yeah.
think that
In the
I
context
don't.
of the movie, it's something. It's really
It's
effective.
special for the movie scene, and I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad song. It's actually a great song. It's just it wouldn't have been one that I necessarily gravitate towards not
I
having
don't
seen the
think I would have
movie.
either.
You know what I'm saying?
And then
And
after that, I can enjoy it outside of that. But it's like seeing it
yeah,
a
yeah.
few times, elevated it, and then and then anytime I hear it now, after I'm just like, yeah, I think about that scene, and I want to go to YouTube real quick, and I find the 2 minute clip, and I watch it, and I'm just like, it's one of those little, I don't know, it's a really feel good thing because they're becoming they're becoming friends, and it's just such a unlikely pairing of individuals, a
Exactly.
bounty hunter dentist and a freed slave, and they become best friends, like almost,
Yes.
and they're on a
Yes.
and they're on a quest or whatever, and that's not the best way to put it, but you know what I'm saying, and
No, 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 no. It actually is a pretty good way to put it. I don't know, man. Quentin Tarantino, especially, but there's a certain number of directors that just have this magical touch when they apply music to their movies, and I don't.
I
I
got
mean,
another one for you.
oh, do tell.
That example, perfect, is Scorsese, and
Yes.
there's a lot of examples, but the one that I
Oh
have
man.
down here that I have written down in my notes is I'm gonna tell you the movie and see if you can tell me what song it is. I don't know if you know it, but have you seen The Color of Money?
Man, it's been so long. I have seen it, but it's been a really long time. I
Yeah.
don't remember much about it.
Yeah. So there's this scene where Tom Cruise is shooting pool, and he's just kicking this guy's ass, and he's being a showboat, and he's and the song "Werewolves of London" by Warren Zevon
Oh,
is
nice. Yeah.
on, and it's just he's like, it's just the perfect blend of him, like hitting these awesome pool shots. You know, if you don't care about pool, you know, I do. Me. I like pool. You know, the past
Oh yeah,
few months or so and everything. And so, you know, once I started getting into shows, like, you know, I think I've seen that movie. I'll go to watch it again, and then I'd forgotten about that scene. And it's just really good that it's just you know, him, you know, kicking ass in the pool room and playing this song, and it's just oh, it's really, you know, one of those really
well,
good
you know,
scenes.
you just brought up Scorsese, and another example with one of my favorite songs, The Departed, with
Yeah.
kind of the opening scene with "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. All right.
And
Yeah.
and yeah,
He's
Scorsese's another
he's
guy,
a
like,
master at that too. He puts in a lot
yes,
of really good.
yeah, he like Tarantino really studies what music to apply to a scene, you know, and and I feel like Tarantino has probably a wider depth of music that he applies to his movies,
Yes, he
and even like, you know, he'll do a, you know, Tarantino will do a period piece like Inglourious Bastards, but he'll, you know, which takes place in World War II in the 40s, but you'll hear David Bowie and stuff like that over scenes that, you know, David Bowie, if he was born yet, would only have been a child, you know, um, or Django Unchained, which takes place, like, you know, post Civil War America. It's almost like it's a Western in many respects, but it's like we've got Tupac and we've got
yeah,
Jim
they're masterful
Croce, and
enough with
yeah,
their craft that they know
and
how
the
to
songs, like,
blend time
the songs
periods.
just fit the scene
Yeah.
and make the scene. You know, there's you know, I'm also like a film score nerd. I'm really not going to go down this rabbit hole, but that's another thing that Tarantino really does well, is getting he applies music to elevate the scene, whether it is
And
a
it's
score
funny,
or a song, and he uses
and
just as much, you know, songs, you know, recorded songs, as he does score work, and it's an amazing testament to his vision, I guess.
yeah, and that's one of the things that I know you and I love about, you know, those movies. What's funny about this part, you know, in this song is, like I was just saying, it's so sugary and sweet, and it's these scenes of these guys becoming friends, but the very next scene, they, you know, they're on their way to assassinate somebody, and they shoot a
Yes,
guy in the head
in
in
front of
front of
his
his
kid.
son
Yeah,
while he's plowing
while
you
he's plowing
know.
the field. Yeah, oh yeah,
But
it's
like,
a
but 20
hardcore
seconds
scene.
earlier, these guys, these beautiful vistas and the snow and these beautiful horses, and you know,
Oh man, absolutely, absolutely,
and they're
and
bonding, and they're, you can tell they've become friends, and it's just it's a break, you know, it's a break from all the bloodshed and the horrors that are in, you know, that movie, and the, you know, and a lot of the subject matter. But it's funny to put such a uh, 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 you know, a nice little 2 minute break, you know.
yes, yeah. And even the song title, "I Got a Name," it's like Django is working on making that name for himself, you know, like, or like not making a name for himself, but like putting himself and his name out there, you know. I don't know.
Oh, you know,
I'm probably
I never really put two
reading
and
a
two
little too
together on
much
that,
into
because
it, but it's like
no,
it
that's
fits on
cool. I hadn't thought of
multiple
that,
levels.
because when he's putting his saddle, I don't know, it's fresh on my mind because I watched the YouTube section, you know, a couple of times, you know, just kind of
Hmm.
getting, you know, for this. But he's putting his new saddle on his horse, and there's a, you know, there's a D on it for Django, as
Yeah,
in, like it's
the D is
he's, you
silent.
know, yeah, he did not have a name, you know, as a slave, he didn't have a name,
No,
you
no, of
know,
course, yeah.
basically,
And
you
just
know,
to
he was
think,
nobody.
I don't really know what the time period is between him being in slavery up to this
It
point. I
seems
think
really obvious now that I say
it's a
that
pretty
out
short
loud.
time period, but like, you know, very up until very recently, Django, like you said, had no name. He had no history. His history was being a slave, a servant to others, and he is still figuring out his freedom while getting all these opportunities afforded to him by the good Dr. Schultz. And man,
Why
yeah,
did I
and
never
the
put? Why
song
did I never put that
just
together before?
applies so well to this like kind of transition. And then,
Yeah,
like you said, of course, we roll right into a scene where he's, you
it's the
know,
perfect song and the perfect thing. It's masterful work. Okay, look, okay, I as somebody with no authority, I'm just a fanboy. I'm a fan
yeah,
of I'm a fan of music, and I'm a fan of good movies, and this is just, to me, is just super effective.
no doubt, no doubt. And yeah, what a choice, man! What a pick. This was a treat. Uh, and it's funny because you dropped the song. You were kind of building that up, and I had some songs immediately started coming to mind. I had no idea where you're going with it, but I start thinking about songs that take me to a movie. And then you drop this one, and immediately, like instantaneously, I read the title, and an image of Django pops up in my mind on a horse.
Oh yeah,
And it's like,
on a horse.
yes,
Yeah.
I can't associate this song with anything else except Django Unchained. And now,
Yeah, me
with
too.
the benefit of retrospect, I have gone, it's a song. I can put it on my classic rock playlist I've got, and it just, it fits right in there, to quote another movie. But uh yeah,
Nice
it's,
tie back,
oh
Lebowski.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, kind of, I always got
Man,
to throw
I don't
back
have a
to
whole lot to say
Lebowski.
about the man, except his career was tragically cut short. He passed away in 1973 in a plane crash at 30 years old,
I
and he had
knew that.
only
I forgot
started.
about that.
He
Yeah.
put out 5 records between 66 and 73, and this one was done in 73. This came out the year that he passed away, unfortunately.
Oh,
But
that's so bad. And we've lost so many fantastic musicians to plane crashes. And I think we had this conversation on an earlier episode where it was like, what would music be like had even half of these artists been able to live a full, fulfilling life? I don't, you know what I
I
mean?
wonder. Yeah, I
And
wonder.
it couldn't have been any different, or it could have been vastly different. You just never know. And there's just so many stories. Not so much recently, but like 50s, 60s, 70s. You go all the way back to like what they call the day the music died, when Buddy Holly and Big Bopper and Richie Valens died in that plane crash. And that's probably either the most infamous, or perhaps one of the first like big stories of that happening. And then we've had so many since then: Jim Croce, Otis Redding. Um, man, I could go on and on, but it's unfortunate because there you never know what the output would have been like. Like
Yeah.
what else could John Lennon have done had he not been shot and
Oh,
killed?
sure.
What else
Yeah.
could Marvin Gaye have done, even kind of in an older age, before
Kurt
being
Cobain.
murdered? Kurt Cobain, Lane
Yeah.
Staley,
Yeah.
just these tragic stories of these artists that were taken too soon, but leave such a legacy of music. And Jim Croce. Now, I will admit that I don't deep dive on Jim Croce. I don't know much else about him other than I got a name. Um,
If
do
you were
you, do you
to
have any
look at
other?
this,
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, yeah, yeah. If you were to look at the top five Spotify songs or so, you would recognize something like
Bad
uh,
Bad Leroy Brown. I do know
yeah, that
that
one.
one. Time in a Bottle
Time in a
has the.
bottle.
I'll have to listen to that one because I don't. It's got almost 200 million spins on Spotify, yet the name doesn't ring a bell. So I'll have to go back and listen to it. I'm sure it's going to be one of those. Oh yeah, that song. But
Yeah, the I'll have to say I love you in a song.
I might
That's
know that
another one
one.
of those
That
AM gold
kind of AM
songbooks. I don't know.
AM Gold. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna dig into a couple of these songs. I know Bad Bad Leroy Brown, but and of course I know I got a name.
I was
But
gonna say CBS Core, but this is not CBS Core.
CVS
This
Core,
is
not
it's not. This is
really.
more like it's it's a local pharmacy, but only
Like if the
it's a
pharmacist
family run.
loves,
It's
family
been
run
in operation
pharmacy.
since the 1800s,
Yeah, of course.
and it's a family operation run by about 5 family members.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
of whom love classic rock and folk singer songwriter type music.
yeah. Specifically the 70s. Not much. Not much. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, I'm done with this joke.
That's an
Anyway,
oddly specific descriptor there too. Like you've been
yeah,
in one or two of these pharmacies before and know exactly what they're coming from.
yeah. I can even describe the smell. It's a little bit musty. There's
Like a
probably a
musty, like a
used.
sterile must. Does that
Yeah,
make
and there might be a
sense?
used book section in the
Oh
back.
goodness, yeah, yeah.
Maybe some vinyl, a little bit.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. An old soda fountain that
Michael,
hadn't worked in 30 years.
I know that we're gonna get into more songs that tie into music. I'm sorry. No, okay, more songs.
I would venture
Right.
to
Yeah,
say that every
the
song
tie into
ties into
movies.
music.
Thank you. All right. Okay.
Sorry.
That tie into movies. In fact, I've got at least, one or two in the pipe that also tie into movies. Anyway, oh man, I shouldn't say that. I got to keep it.
Well, just
secret.
mix it up. Mix it up. Or
Okay.
or don't talk about its tie to a movie until after you've sent me the link.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
man, I got to learn how to. I got to learn how to run a podcast.
Yeah, we both
Will you
do.
teach me?
We're out of time to learn how to run a spot. Want to run how to run a podcast. So
We're learning how to. We're
okay.
forgetting how to
All right.
speak
So
as well.
Jim Croce,
Michael,
I got a
yeah,
name. Fantastic selection. Thank you. Such good.
Would
Good
you
vibes.
care
Good
to rate it?
memories. Would I
Would
rate
you
it?
care to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
You going to ask me the 1 to 10? Oh man. Let me
Is this
think.
something we should
So
we
like
should do?
I wouldn't mind
Okay,
doing
how
it.
about
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
if
Let's start.
if
Let's
it
start
comes on,
rating. Personally rating the song
how
that's
many
given
times
to
out
us.
of 10 would you skip it? How many times would you play it?
Oh, you want to give it the percent skip?
Yeah, the skip scale.
I wouldn't skip this one very much. One nice thing about it is it's a pretty short song. It's like it's barely over 3 minutes. So it's like, you know what?
That's true.
By the time I make up my mind whether I want to skip it, I'm halfway through it. I might as well finish it. So I'm going to say pretty
This is a
low
good
on the scale
example.
as far as skip.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe 30 to 40% at best. As far as would I skip it?
Okay, so 70% of the time you would listen to it start to finish.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what, you brought up a really good point. You said it's only about how long? What, 3 minutes or something?
Like 308 or something like that.
Okay,
No.
Is
It's
something I appreciate.
313.
This is something I appreciate about this song, is that if it were to go one more verse, I think I would check out.
Yeah. And that's why I don't really skip it. I don't. It doesn't. I mean, admittedly, it doesn't come up very often in my listening because I have it on a classic rock playlist, but it's only when I listen to that playlist. Otherwise, it doesn't really come up in any of my other musical circles. So, but if I'm listening to like a radio station or
it's
very
not a huge
randomly
enough song
here,
that it comes on a lot.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's not
in heavy rotation with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not Stairway.
No.
Which
no.
I love Stairway. Don't get me wrong, but
and I'm looking at it. This is a good long list of lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics are nice. He says what he wants to say. The music, in this case, I feel like the music serves the lyrics just as much as the other way around. So he had something to say, but he said it concisely. Put a tune to it, threw it out there, and it's a great song.
Now I like this. I'm going to read a little. I'm actually going to go into a little bit of the lyrics here. He says, "I've got a name. and I carry it with me like my daddy did, but I'm living the dream that he kept hid. So his dad had some kind of dream or something. Maybe his dad was a singer-songwriter or something, and he didn't use his gift or put it out there or something, but Jim Croce did. Maybe. I'm pure speculation, just reading the lyrics.
A lyric that I like right here, it says, I've got a song, and I carry it with me and I sing it loud. If it gets me nowhere, I'll go there proud.
Nice.
I like that. I really like that. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
The music will carry you. Even if it carries you nowhere, it's carrying you, you know?
Yeah.
You might.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying you might it might elevate you, it might pull you down. Either way, you're going with the song, you know?
Yeah. And you're on a journey, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And this is this is great that you and me get to share this musical journey together, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Speaking of musical journey, we're
yes.
about to have to wrap this journey up and take you on another ride like you hadn't been
Indeed.
on before.
Right on. Oh man, what a great episode! Thanks for spending your time with me, Michael. I'll see you next time.
Man, thank you for the song rec, and this has been an exciting episode. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, people. Later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, we really appreciate you listening to the show today. If you enjoyed it, feel free to listen to the rest of our catalog and share it with your friends. Go ahead and follow us, and you can find me on Instagram at ClayDangCollins. Thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next one.